My video for the 25th of February 2018 is entitled Key Illuminati Repentance Against All Odds. What a strange message. I don't even know if it's real. After all, it was just a dream. Can dreams ever come true? Good ones, that is. In a world where evil has become so dominant, it would seem unlikely. Yes, I once believed in miracles, but that was before they stole my home. Since then, I have become more and more cynical. Still, what is this message I wake up with about a major shift? Can influential people with very dark ties, demonic alliances actually come clean? Is true repentance and forgiveness just a fairy tale? Or can it happen in a world that has become so malevolent? I wish I knew the answer, but honestly, I wrestle, even trying to consider the possibility. It seems so far-fetched. What would I like to see become a reality? Or would I like to see it become a reality? Of course. Would all of us who would like to experience planetary transformation actually be able to foment real change? That's what some of our meditations and prayers are all about. May God help our cynicism. Indeed, I wrote that blurb early this morning, actually, when I woke up after I put the previous video up online. But I didn't record it then. I was going to record it later, but I got an invitation to speak this coming Sunday night. So I've been prepping myself, reading the last 2 Anastasia books in the series of 9 in preparation for my talk about Anastasia, which is coming up tomorrow night, Sunday night. Anyway, folks, it was a strange dream, and it totally escaped me till I go back and I read the blurb that I wrote this morning that, again, I didn't record. I'd like to see everyone redeemed. That's the plain truth of the matter. I'd like to see the dark ones come around and start doing good. Some people, though, say we have to have the contrast. I'm sorry. I don't buy it, especially after reading more in the Anastasia books today. And I've read, about 100 to 150 pages into 2 books. I've read the beginning of each book, about 75, 80 pages approximately in each book. And Anastasia's world, then the one that goes back, that Vladimir Megra, who authored the books, did some research, and they find historical evidence of civilizations in what we now call Russia that date back possibly as far as 25,000 years. And the interpretation, of course, is based on our modern stuff, but he, in bringing it to Anastasia, she has a completely different way. The animals at that time, in that civilization, people and animals cooperated with each other, including some that we would consider man-eaters now and very dangerous to humanity because we have introduced fear into the thing. And back then, love was the main motivating factor. Well, it's not love anymore. It's fear. It's a fear-motivated society that we live in, and it's run by a monetary system that produces the appearance of lack when actually there is no lack. We all have enough provided, but not in the current arrangement of our culture. Now, my question again comes back to what I wrote this morning in the blurb. Can those that have brought this dark agenda to bear on planet Earth and on humanity, can they ever find true repentance? Can they be redeemed? Or are they forever lost? And what will it take if if they are to be redeemed, what will it take for that redemption to actually occur? And I don't have the answers. I mean, I wish I did. I wish I knew how to create the world that Anastasia talks about. And of course, Vladimir Megra, who wrote the books, became very, very skeptical, even in book one. I had forgotten that, but I went back and I read book one, not today, but more recently. And he was skeptical even back then and felt he was being put up. And book two, of course, deals a lot with his skepticism and how she was able to dematerialize in one place and actually move her body from one location to another. Now, these talents, gifts, and abilities that she demonstrates in those books, which some claim they're fiction because they seem so far-fetched from our current reality. But it's a reality that's very, very relevant to us now, and that's why I believe it was said that out of Russia comes the hope of the world. That's why Edgar Cayce said that, and Edgar Cayce was supposedly one of the ancient ones, reincarnated. Now, again, do I know any of this is true? No, I don't. I'd like to have personal experience of my own redemption against all odds. I don't like the idea that the world is just a purging ground and there is no redemption here. If that's true, then why be here at all ever? It's not just a purging ground. It's not just a time to work out our karma. We didn't have karma when we were created. That was something that's been put into the equation later on by some kind of demonic or extraterrestrial entities. And I don't know, and I don't even know what that is for sure, because we've been so misled and so misguided all of our lives. I'd like to see everybody in the world come back to the love that Anastasia talks about. Because if we came from a place of love, we would be at peace with our environment. There would be no war. We would be incapable of killing anything for that matter. And the nature itself would provide all that we need to sustain our lives. And these beings back then were able to go into a sleep and come back and not have to go through the relearning process. In other words, their memories of previous lifetimes would not be wiped out. They could just reestablish themselves. Now, again, this seems like speculation from our point of view. But I am once again considering the possibility that these speculative ideas actually have some relevance in our age, and that we are actually being called to a higher form of consciousness whereby we can transcend the darkness and the evil, which is living backwards, of our present evil world, which is a backwards living world where everything is inverted, turned inside out and upside down. We need to get to where Anastasia was, and she is someone in our time, 20th, 21st century figure, and her little son Voluja is also talking about the same thing. And I'm going to talk about that in my lecture tomorrow evening here in Melbourne, Florida. But folks, I want to see all of us co-create a better world. And I'd like to see the divine help. And someone said, there will be no divine help. It's up to us. And it looks so hopeless to me when I hear that it's up to us, because we have so far to go. I mean, even Vladimir struggled to comprehend what Anastasia was talking about, because it didn't make sense based on his current point of view. And it doesn't make sense based on most of our points of view. Anyway, folks, let's try to find answers to questions that seem impossible to answer. Thank you for listening, and Namaste.